The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Off like a herd of thunder and turtles today so far. Good afternoon. My name is Ron Chuckett. Welcome to the program for this last day of August 2023. Just one broadcast today. We'll do one tomorrow because I have errands to run tomorrow. And so we'll split the NLDSs. We're going to do the Cubs and the Giants in a moment. We will play game one from San Francisco. Russ Ortiz versus Kerry Wood. Then Quick Sims game 2 and 3. And then tomorrow at noon, it'll be the Astros and the Marlins. Game 1 live from the Astrodome, from Minute Maid Park. And then 2 and 3 right after. And then we'll figure out the schedule for the game 4s. If you weren't with us yesterday, both American League series have gotten to a game 4. The Seattle Mariners lead the New York Yankees 2-1, and the Oakland Athletics lead the Chicago White Sox by the score of 2-1. And if you are a fan of offense, apparently the American League series have all been long ball, long ball, long ball. Oakland put up 18 in game 2 on Chicago last night. So you never know what's going to happen. Here you got Barry Bonds versus Sammy Sosa. Kerry Wood versus Russ Ortiz. I would think the Giants are probably favored in the series, although if you want to talk about disparity between the leagues, the Yankees have the worst record of the 4 teams in the American League playoffs, and they would have the best record in the National League. So it goes to show there is no clear-cut favorite for the National League. And so I don't know what's going to happen, and neither do you. Well, if you do, please tell me in advance, and we can just kind of move on to the championship series. All right, Giants-Cubs game 1 next. As Retro Sports Network presents the 2001 National League Divisional Series. Today, from Pac Bell Park in San Francisco, California, it's the San Francisco Giants and the Chicago Cubs. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. How you doing, Bernie? Nice to have you along. So if you weren't with us last night, as I'm trying to get my graphics in line, we will play game 1 of each of the 4 divisional series, and then Quick Sim games 2 and 3 before picking everything up from game 4 forward all the way to the last out of the World Series. It'll be Russ Ortiz on the hill for San Francisco, and I'm reading off his replay numbers. 33 starts. He went 16 and 4 for the Giants with a 3.30 ERA, 207 and a third innings, 182 hits, 85 runs, 76 earned, 17 homers, 93 walks, and 149 strikeouts. This will be the lineup that he will face. Eric Young leads off at second for the Cubs. Ricky Gutierrez at short will bat second. Sammy Sosa and right goes third. The crime dog, Fred McGriff, it's why Chicago got him, cleans up at first. Ron Coomer gets to start in game 1 at third base. He'll bat fifth. Rondell White in left will bat sixth. Randy Hundley, or Todd Hundley, behind the plate batting 7th. Michael Tucker in center batting 8th. And Kerry Wood in his 110 pitches will bat 9th. Defensively for the Giants, Bonds a 4 and a 6 in left. Marvin Bernard is a 5 and a 4 in center. Armando Rios an 8 and a 9 in right. Can't tell you off the top of my head what Ramon Martinez is at third. Rich Aurelia is a 6 at short. Jeff Kent a 7 at second. J.T. Snow a 6 at first. Benito Santiago a 5 and a 5 behind the plate. And Ortiz is an 8 on the mound with a 9.79 fielding percentage. Young steps in at 291. Or, is that a 9? Yes, it is. 291, 7 homers, and 51 RBI. It is a beautiful day in San Francisco. 67 degrees. Winds blowing from McCovey Cove to left field at 9. And the National League playoffs begin with a fly ball to left center. Bernard coming in, makes the catch, 1 out. For Ricky Gutierrez, Ricky hit 266, 8 homers, and 56 RBI. Ortiz deals. Gutierrez ground ball past Avila for a base hit. Martinez, by the way, a 4 at third. So 1 on and 1 out for Sammy Sosa. He didn't hit his 64 homers. He did hit 48, hitting 303 and driving in 128. In fact, it was some of his heroics late in the year that propelled the Cubs over the Diamondbacks into the wild card spot. Pitch to Sosa. There goes Gutierrez. The throw down to Kent, and Ricky stole the bag. So 1 out, 1 on, and a ball count to Sosa, and they already have a run in scoring position. Ortiz deals. Sosa strikes out. A 1-2 fastball, a hard one at 96, swung on and missed. So that'll bring up Fred McGriff. Fred, a late season acquisition over from Tampa at 266, 10 homers, and 36 RBI. Ortiz winds and deals. Struck him out. So Ortiz just kind of shakes the fist. That'll do it for the Cubs. No runs, a hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the first in game 1, no score. How you doing, Mike from the truck? So Kerry Wood, 28 starts. Dusty Baker wants to make him his workhorse here in the postseason. He went 13-4 on the replay with a 2.80 ERA. 173 in the third innings, which is why he is their number 1 pitcher. 124 hits, 57 runs, 54 earned, 85 walks, and 221 strikeouts. Marvin Bernard, by the way, leads off in center for San Francisco. Rich Aurelia at short will bat second. Barry Bonds in left will bat third. We get the giant. Oops. Bernard, by the way, rips a base hit into left field. Because I can't figure out what button I'm supposed to hit. Anyway. Jeff Kent will clean up at second. J.T. Snow at first will bat fifth. Benito Santiago behind the plate sixth. Rios in right batting seventh. Ramon Martinez at third batting eighth. And Ortiz, who threw 15 pitches in his half of the first, will bat ninth. Rondell White, by the way, a 4 and a 3 in left. Michael Tucker, a 3 and a 3 in center. Sammy Sosa, a 6 and a 7 in right. Gutierrez, a 3 at short. Young, a 4 at second. Hundley, an 8 and a 1 behind the plate. And Wood, a 7 on the mound with a 9.71 ER, or fielding percentage. Let's see. What was I supposed to tell you about Marvin Bernard? He came into it with a 251 average, 15 homers, and 44 RBI. Aurelia has had a good year, hitting .313, 26 homers, and 87 RBI. The dreaded technical glitch. Pitch from Wood. Aurelia gets away from Hundley, and Bernard will move up to second. Coomer, a 3 at third, and McGriff, a 4 at first, and that is a pass ball. Hundley apologizes, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes to Aurelia. Wood deals. Struck him out. Carey's going to get a bunch of those today. A 1-2 fastball swung on and missed. That brings up Barry Bonds. He did not hit the 73 homers he did in real life. And for those of you who are Henry Aaron fans, take 16 off of Bonds' all-time home run list. He did hit .314, hit 56 homers, drove in 121, and walked 179 times. So that's only 2 off what he did in real life. 1 out, runner on second. Wood will pitch. Bonds a ground ball to Coomer at third, and Ron can't play it, And so it's runners on the corners, 1 out for Jeff Kent. Kent at 268, 15 homers, and 87 RBI. So the Giants threatening here in the bottom of the first in what is absolutely a drop-dead gorgeous late afternoon at Packnell Park. Pitch to Kent. Ground ball to third. See if Coomer can do anything here. Bernard will head home. They go to get Bonds for 1. Kent will reach. Does Young throw? Young does not throw. And so on a roll block slide by Bonds, and it's 1-0 San Francisco. Brings up J.T. Snow at 244, 9 homers, and 51 RBI. So runner on first is Kent, 2 out. Wood deals, and Snow draws the walk. Not a great start for Kerry Wood. Benito Santiago at the plate at 265, 3 homers, and 43 RBI. First and second, Giants up 1-0 here in the first of Game 1 of this National League Divisional Series. Santiago pops up third base side. Coomer trying to run out of real estate by the Giant dugout and can't get it. Somebody from Sausalito made that catch. And the count is 0-2. Wood is up to 28 pitches here in the first. The 0-2. Line drive, third base side, and foul. And the count remains 0-2. Got him. So Wood gets out of it, but he throws 30 pitches in the process. Santiago watched a fastball for strike 3. However, the Giants get a run. Make sure I had the right button pressed here. A hit in and there. After 1-0 San Francisco. By the way, the Cubs won the wild card with a record of 89-73. As Ron Coomer steps in. I do have his numbers right here. He hit a 266, 7 homers, and 45 RBI. As a team, they hit 250, and they pitched pretty well. The ERA is 3.77. Coomer starts the second. Strike 3. Ortiz got him with a 1-2 curve looking. Brings up Rondell White at 301, 14 homers, and 58 RBI. Into left center. Back goes Bernard, way back there, and this game is tied. Rondell White, a solo home run, and it's 1-1. How you doing, John? So Bernard just ran out of room, and White could just turn and watch it go, or scores as Bernard could just turn and watch it go. And I'll bring up Todd Hundley. Todd, 204, 11 homers, and 35 RBI. Ortiz deals. Struck him out. That's 4 for Russ. As Hundley chased a fastball out of the zone on a 1-2 count. And then I'll bring up Michael Tucker. At 236, 7 homers, and 33 RBI. Struck him out. So Ortiz is fan 5. But he gives up a run on the home run to Rondell White. And we go to the bottom of the second here in game 1. 1-1 to score. Tribe fan, how are you? First of a 5-day weekend. We'll have one game. Here's how we did the games yesterday. So first, we'll do this game, and then we will load the lineups back up and do the quick sims of games 2 and 3, and we'll all see together the status of the series. Both of the American League series will have game 4s. Not offering overtime on Saturday, so Tribe Fan gets a full weekend plus Labor Day. Woohoo! Armando Rios steps up at 241, 12 homers, and 45 RBI. I made screenshots, by the way, of the real life or the replay stats. And that's what I'm reading off. So if you're wondering, like, well, that's not what it says. Well, that's what it is. The Giants won the West with a 92-70 record. Dodger fans and certain goats are wanting a recount. They hit 254 as a team, and their team ERA is 3.79. Pitch to Rios. Struck him out. That's 3 for Wood. Full count, swung on and missed. Here's Ramon Martinez. 240, 2 homers, and 36 RBI. Wood, trying to get his bearings, was given that run he gave up in the first back in the top of the second. Ground ball to third. Coomer across the way. 2 out. Brings up Russ Ortiz. Who on the real year, 194, no homers and 6 RBI. Tribe Fan is singing his best Green Day impression. We wouldn't want to do karaoke together. 2 out, pitch to Ortiz. Struck him out, so Wood is through 2. He got a clean inning. Fastball swung on and missed. After 2, it's the Cubs 1, the Giants 1. Actually, Kerry Wood's at the plate, so I can just leave it on my chat. Wood, 188 on the real year with no homers and 2 RBI. Ortiz starts the third. Struck him out. That's 6 for Russ. Goodness gracious. A 2-2 fastball outside got him looking. So the opening 9 for Ortiz, 38 pitches, 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, the home run to White. No walks and 6 strikeouts. You don't necessarily think of Ortiz being a strikeout pitcher. Eric Young is 0 for 1. I saw on when I had the stat sheet up, Young stole 32 bases, which is just 1 off his real life number. But he was caught stealing 24 times. The computer had a lot of fun with that. Ortiz pitch. Slow ground ball to Aurelia, gobbles it up in front of the bag at second, over to Snow for the out. So 2 out for Ricky Gutierrez, who singled and stole a base his first time up. 1-1 the score. Ortiz's pitch. Struck him out. That's 7 for Ortiz. How about that? No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the third here in Game 1. It's the Cubs 1, the Giants 1. So Kerry Wood's opening 9, 46 pitches, 2 innings, a hit, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. Bernard has singled and scored in the first. Wood winds and deals. There's a slow ground ball to Coomer. Ron has to hurry. Bernard can run. McGriff's glove is there, and Bernard is out on a bang-banger. So 1 out for Aurelia, who struck out his first time up. You expect Kerry Wood to get some strikeouts by the bushel. In this one, he has fanned 4 so far. Line drive left field. That's going to drop in front of Rondell White. And the Giants have a single. For Barry Bonds, who's 0 for 1. Both teams have 2 hits. Line drive to Young, and Aurelia is caught napping. And Kerry Wood just leaves the biggest sly smile on his face as Aurelia is doubled off of first. So it's 4-3 on the DP. We go to the 4th in Game 1. It's the Cubs 1, the Giants 1. So Russ Ortiz struck out Sammy Sosa his first time up. McGriff and Coomer to follow. Sosa, a ground ball to third. Martinez throws to Snow. 1 out. So the state of the... Well, we'll get to that in a moment. Fred McGriff is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And Ortiz gets him to swing and drive this one into left field. That's going to drop in front of Bonds. And McGriff has a hit. So a 1-out single brings up Ron Coomer, who struck out his first time up. Coomer into left center. Bernard will go back in the alley and make the catch. 2 out. So Rondell White, who tied the ball game for the Cubs in the second, with 2 out here in the fourth, his first of the postseason, a solo shot. Ortiz deals. There's a line drive in the center. It's going to drop in front of Bernard. And so it's first and second with 2 out for Todd Hundley, who struck out his first time up. Santiago and Ortiz change the signs. McGriff studies it carefully. Hundley laces this one into left center field. Bonds will cut it off. McGriff will round third. Is Bonds going to make a play at the plate? With 2 out, you bet he's going to try. McGriff under the tag, and the Cubs lead it 2-1. Yeah, 24 times caught stealing. Absolutely true. So first and second now, 2 out for Michael Tucker, who struck out his first time up. Pitch to Tucker. Ball 4. So Ortiz has loaded the bases here for Kerry Wood. That's a good sign. Kerry struck out his first time up. Mr. John had plans to make another attempt for Washington to see Dave Matthews at the Gorge. But the daughter is due. Is this your first grandchild? Wife told you just to keep your personals. Hard to get them approved this late. Yep, especially coming into Christmas. And he's playing deep drive and doing laundry. Yeah, Tribe fan, if you're Ricky Henderson and you get caught 24 times in 154 attempts, who cares? But yeah, 24 and 56, that puts you into 70s kicker territory. Congrats, John, for that. So here we go. Bases loaded, pitch to Wood. Gets away from Santiago, and Rondell White will trot home. It is ruled a pass ball. That went all the way to the screen, and it's 3-1. So Dusty Baker and Kerry Wood have some room. 2-1 the count, second and third, 2 out. Cubs have 2 in already here in the fourth. Pitch to Wood. Base hit right center field. Hundley and Tucker score, and Wood has a double, and it's 5-1 San Francisco, or Chicago. Not what I expected at all. Holy cow. So Ortiz, 18 batters deep, 79 pitches, 3 2/3, 6 hits. The solo homer from Rondell White, a walk, and 7 strikeouts. EY is 0 for 2. Kerry Wood cleared the bases with a double. Ortiz trying to get out of the inning. He will. He strikes out Young, and that'll do it. However, the Cubs have a huge inning. 4 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. We go to the bottom of the fourth, 5-1 Chicago. And so let's catch you up on what happened in the American League yesterday. The games of the 9th we played out. The White Sox over the A's 4-3. Chris Singleton 3 hits. Seattle won game 1 of their series over the Yankees thanks to a grand slam by John Olerud. Freddie Garcia, by the way, threw a 3-hitter. Game 2, which were quick sim games, Oakland beat Chicago 18-7. Miguel Tejada drove in 5. Meanwhile, the Yankees in Seattle beat them 10-9. Then they got the off day, and we quick sims games 3. Seattle went into Yankee Stadium and beat them 10-9. David Bell 3 hits and 4 RBI, and Oakland goes home and holds Chicago to a run. They won 3-1. So the status of those series, the Mariners and A's need one more win to go to the ALDS. Times to be determined and dates to be determined for games 4. Here, the Giants have dug themselves into a hole. Jeff Kent has an RBI. Sac fly. Bernie's going. Now, Bernie, are your grandkids in Vegas too? Pitch to Kent. Struck him out. That's 5 for Wood. An 0-2 cutter in there at the knees. And that brings up J.T. Snow, who drew a walk his first time up. Got him! So Wood has a good morning and a good afternoon. A 2-2 fastball swung on and missed. And so, Bernie, I have to ask after seeing that, do you know the way to San Jose? I'm assuming you do. Santiago is 0 for 1. Benito struck out as Kerry Wood has been given a 4-run cushion here with 2 out in the 4th. Ground ball to first. McGriff to the bag himself, and that'll do it. So the Giants go quietly in the 4th, and this crowd is kind of quieted down a bit. We go to the 5th here in San Francisco. Cubs 5, Giants 1. So Gutierrez, Sosa, and McGriff to face Russ Ortiz. Probably his last inning either way. Mr. John had an interesting boo-boo today. Pinch hitters galore in the bottom of the 8th with the Braves down 1-0 to the Mets. Not sure what game engine or what year. Pinch hit for Bill Pecota. They named a forecast system after him. Didn't realize Pendleton was on the DL. Tied the game and had to play Rafael Belliard out of position. But in the no good deed ever, we know what I mean. Belliard doing yeoman's work, or unpunished, that's the word I'm looking for, ended up with a game-winning hit in the bottom of the 10th. Gutierrez, as we said, 1 for 2, a single, a strikeout, and a stolen base. Ortiz starts the 5th, ground ball to Martinez, long throw to Snow, 1 out. No good deed ever goes unpunished. Sammy Sosa, speaking of good deeds, is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Ortiz deals. Popped up, right side. Snow on the dirt. 2 out for Fred McGriff. So Ortiz a quieter inning here in the 5th. McGriff 1 for 2. Fred has singled, struck out, and scored. Got him. That's 9 for Ortiz. It's a cold, windy day here in Burlington. Halfway home, game 1. It's the Cubs 5, the Giants 1. If you joined us late, this one is kind of the surprise of the playoffs so far. The Cubs lead game 1 against San Francisco by the score of 5-1. Jeff Kent, an RBI grounder in the first to make it 1-0 San Francisco. Rondell White with a solo bomb in the second to tie it up, and then the Cubs got to Russ Ortiz in the fourth. Todd Hundley, an RBI single to score Fred McGriff to make it 2-1. Rondell White scored on a pass ball by Benito Santiago to make it 3-1. And then Kerry Wood with a 2-run double to make it 5-1. So, midlife crisis, we'll talk about that in a second. So, Wood, a 2-hitter through 4. He has struck out 6. Russ Ortiz, 5 innings, 5 runs, and 4 of those earned. He'll be pinch hit for here in the bottom of the 5th. He is due to bat third. Armando Rios struck out his first time out. Getting back to that game that John's been playing, it hit with Maddox in the bottom of the 9th before removing him because you were out of bench players. Pitched great but didn't get the win. What year deep drive are you doing? Pitch to Rios. Fly ball, shallow center. Tucker, 1 out. For Ramon Martinez, who's 0 for 1. There's a ground ball to Young. EY throws to McGriff, and there's 2 out. So the Giants will go to the bench. Let's see who we got. We're going to go with who can hit a righty, right? Who can hit a righty? And the answer is not many people. Calvin Murray will pinch hit. Calvin hit 196, 8 homers, and 26 RBI. And Murray strikes out. So that will do it. We've played 5 here in San Francisco. Got to change the pitcher. It's the Cubs 5, the Giants 1. So they're going to bring in Mark Gardner because he would be the 5th starter anyway. Gardner did not have a great year. Well, he did actually. 8-3, a 3.86 ERA. Did both starting and relieving. 93 1/3 innings, 83 hits, 41 runs, 40 earned, 16 homers. He walked 22 and struck out 57. Ron Coomer is 0 for 2. How you doing? 94 Maddox replay and using Digital Diamond to sim. Both are great. Go Astros. That's tomorrow at noon Eastern. The Astros and the Marlins. And we'll do games 2 and 3 thereafter. D. Scott Howard living in a state of denial, rooting for the Dodgers. Coomer is 0 for 2 with a walk, or a strikeout. Cubs got 4 in the top of the 4th. Scotty is at the ballpark wearing Cubs material. Pitch to Coomer. There's a ground ball to Kent over to first for the out, 1 away. So Rondell White, who's homer in the second, tied the ball game at 1, is up. He singled, he homered, and has scored twice. Gardner deals. Into shallow left center. Bernard coming in, makes the catch, 2 out. Todd Hundley, 1 for 2. RBI single, run scored, and a strikeout. So, Scotty, with your Dodgers out, I'm assuming you're rooting for Seattle? I'm assuming you are not rooting for the San Francisco Giants. Pitch to Hundley. There's a liner to right. Rios coming in, makes a sliding catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the 6th here at Pac Bell, 5-1 Cubs. So the wind now blowing out to McCovey Cove at 11. As Bernard steps up, we'll give you those numbers in a moment. Deep drive is fairly accurate, John says. Maddox matched his real-life season total in home runs allowed with his first 9 starts, but none in the last 7. Only 5 walks for matching his real-life season totals with 9 starts to go. All other stats are on point. So far, he'd say the game is pretty accurate. His first endeavor with deep drive, missing strat and action PC. I'm not a dual project guy. So you're not going to make up the starts missed because of the strike? We read Scotty like a book. Kerry Wood opening 18, 91 pitches, 5 innings, 2 hits, a walk, 1 run, and 7 strikeouts. Marvin Bernard singled and scored. He's 1 for 2. That came in the first. Ground ball to short. Gutierrez is very deep in the hole, over to McGriff. Bernard's running, but he's out. 1 away. Here's Aurelia. Rich has singled and struck out. Wood fires into right center. Tucker going back, but that'll stay in the yard. 2 out. For Barry Bonds, who's been very quiet so far. 0 for 2. Wood deals, and Bonds draws the walk. So Barry marches down to first, and we're going to get a pitching change. That'll do it for Wood. Todd Van Poppel coming in. Let me hit the right button. Van Poppel went 4-8 for the Cubs. A 4.65 ERA in 63 games, 71 2/3 innings, 68 hits, 40 runs, 37 earned. He allowed 5 homers. He walked 48 and struck out 84. To finish the thought on that Maddox replay by John, nope, thought about it, but the project is more about testing the accuracy of the game engine for possible future purchase. Not fond of cutting almost 1,000 cards. Oh, you printed them yourself. The wife wasn't happy with all the ink usage. But think of the possible future diapers you could put together for your daughter. Yeah, just all those bad teams you don't want to use. Anyway, here's Ken. 0 for 2, an RBI and a strikeout. 2 out. Van Poppel coming in. Bonds on first. Fly ball to right. Sosa. That'll be quite playable. Sammy makes the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors. After 6, it's 5-1 Cubs. So Tucker, Van Poppel's spot, and Young to face Gardner. Can you buy the cards for Deep Drive already printed, or is that just a PDF only? Michael Tucker, by the way, 0 for 1, a walk, a strikeout, and a run scored. Gardner starts the 7th with a ground ball to Snow. JT waits, underhands it to Gardner, 1 out. So let's see what they do with Van Poppel. They will pinch hit. Todd Dunwoody will get the honors. Dunwoody, I don't have his numbers handy. Hit .213 in real life. A homer and 3 RBI. It's been nostalgic, John says, because you had the Strat 94 set. So it's nice even to revisit the bad teams. Forgot how fun the Tigers were back then, even though they had no pitching. That was Sparky's last year, wasn't it? Pitch to Dunwoody. Todd laces this one to second, and Kent snares it 2 away. Brings up Eric Young, who's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. 2 out. Young base hit left center field. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Bonds got a bad jump. Young is in the second standing as the throw goes into third. So the Cubs get their 7th hit of the ball game, Here's Ricky Gutierrez, who's 1 for 3, a single, a strikeout, and a stolen base. So EY on second, Cubs looking for another run. And believe it or not, there are goats in the concourse in left field wearing Cubs uniforms. Pitch to Gutierrez. Liner pass, Kent for a base hit. Young will round third. Bernard isn't even going to throw home, and it's 6-1 Chicago. So the crowd in San Francisco is silent. The chat's pretty happy about the Cubs, but the crowd at the ballpark is not. Sammy Sosa is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Gutierrez on first, and Sosa gets hit. So 2 out for Fred McGriff with runners on first and second. Pitch to McGriff. Ball 4, and I gotta go get Gardner, right? Yes. Hold on. So they go get Mark Gardner. And they will bring in Tim Worrell. Says Worrell takes his warm-up tosses. He went 6-3 with a 3.74 ERA, 68 games, 65 innings, 62 hits, 28 runs, 27 earned. He gave up 4 homers, 28 walks, and 56 strikeouts. Ron Coomer is 0 for 3. First and second, 2 out. Or the bases loaded, 2 out. Coomer with a shot down the line. Going to score a bundle. Gutierrez will score. Martinez should have had it. Sosa scores. And McGriff will score as Ron Coomer clears the bases on a double. The Cubs have 4 runs here in the 7th, and they lead the Giants 9-1. And that'll bring up Rondell White, who singled, solo homer in the second, 2 for 3. And their fans are now making their way to the BART. I figure this might be the best series of the 4. Well. Pitch to White. Coomer goes, and White draws the walk. Goodness gracious. So here is Todd Hundley. Todd 1 for 3. He has singled, driven in a run, and scored. Has also struck out. Yeah, the BART's pretty good from what I understand. First and second, 2 out. Hundley. Strike 3. Stretch time, 9-1 Cubs. So Dave Weathers, over from the Reds, will come in and see if he can just kind of hold the barn door closed with an 8-run lead. He went 2-3 since coming over, a 3.82 ERA, 31 games, 35 in the 3rd innings, 39 hits, 19 runs, 15 earned. He allowed 6 homers. He walked 13 and struck out 24. And the Astro fans, I'm not sure I'd feel good about this. The Cubs have come loaded for bear. JT Snow is 0 for 1. He walked and struck out. It's a ground ball to McGriff. 1 out. So here's Santiago. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Weathers deals. Hard ground ball to Young. Eric picks it up, throws to first, 2 out. Armando Rios is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. I'm stunned. I honestly thought this would be the nail-biter series. Pitch to Rios. Chopper to first. McGriff will grab it on the grass, underhands it to Weathers, and Rios is retired. We are through 7 in Game 1. It's the Cubs 9, the Giants 1. So Tucker, pitcher spot, in EY to face Tim Worrell. Tucker is 0 for 2. He is walked, struck out, and scored. Fly ball to right. Back goes Rios, and that will be off the wall. Tucker trots into second. Is he going to try for third? He's digging for third. Kent with the relay throw to Martinez. It's going to be close, but Tucker is in there. Man, that's a 10th hit. So Weathers is not going to bat. It's going to be Bill Miller. Miller, in 75 games, hit .274, 7 homers, and 27 RBI. Worrell's pitch. Ground ball to Aurelia, and they're not going to get anybody. Aurelia tried to grab it, couldn't grab it, grabbed it anyway, and that's an error. And everything that could go wrong for the Giants has gone wrong for the Giants. It's now 10-1. In some place up in Washington, an older man thusly strokes his beard and laughs his buttocks off. Here's Eric Young. He is 1 for 4. A double, a run scored, and a strikeout. Santiago and Worrell have a word. Tim deals. Young, who's 1 for 4, ground ball to Kent, takes it to the bag at second himself, and Young is going to reach. So 1 out and a runner on first for Ricky Gutierrez, who is 2 for 4. Ricky has singled twice, driven in a run, scored, stolen a base, and struck out. 1 out here in the 8th in a 10-1 Cubby blowout. That might be 2. Kent, Aurelia for 1. The pivot throw to Snow, and that will be 2. And so the Cubs get 1 more as Kyle Farnsworth makes his way in from the bullpen in left field. It is Chicago 10, San Francisco 1. Farnsworth's numbers. He went 8-6 with an earned run average of .308. 79 games, 79 innings, 58 hits, 30 runs, 27 earned, 10 homers allowed. He walked 22 and struck out 90. Yep, we do our best with these, Bernie. Just don't make me sing Dionne Warwick songs anymore, okay? Ramon Martinez is 0 for 2. Here we go. Farnsworth starts the 8th. Ground ball to Gutierrez, and Ricky throws to first for the out. So the last series will start tomorrow. That will be the Marlins and the Astros, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. And then we'll work on a schedule for whenever Game 4s are needed. Tim Worrell will be pinch hit for here. Eric Davis is the pinch hitter. Davis at 156, 3 homers and 17 RBI. Farnsworth, 1 out here in the 8th. Ground ball to Young behind the bag, over to McGriff for the out. Trust me, 5 years of this, Bernie, I've called my share of stinkers. You just never want that to be a playoff game. Here's Bernard. Marvin is 1 for 3. He has singled and scored. Farnsworth's pitch. Ground ball to Coomer. Over to McGriff. And that'll do it. We go to the 9th. It is 10-1 Chicago. Well, we're not going to waste Rob Nen. We will bring, let's see, righty, lefty, righty. Brian Boehringer will come in. Boehringer over from the Yankees. 1-2, a 5.50 ERA, 37 games, 37 2/3, 40 hits, 26 runs, 23 earned. He's allowed 3 homers, walking 21, and striking out 38. Sammy Sosa is 0 for 3. He has scored and struck out. 10 runs, 10 hits, an error for the Cubs. They've left on 4. Stay tuned. Remember, we're going to quick sim games 2 and 3 after this. Although this one is over, pretty much. The Giants have been held to 2 hits. Sosa, strike 3. The throw down to Snow from Santiago, 1 out. So here's Fred McGriff. He has scored twice. He has singled, walked, and struck out twice. He is 1 for 3. So the Cubs have made a statement in Game 1. Base hit left field. McGriff goes the opposite way. So a 1-out single for Ron Coomer, who's 1 for 4, with the double. And Lino DeShields will pinch hit. I believe we have numbers for DeShields. We do. Overall, 1 homer, 12 RBI, hit .253 in 68 games. Fantastic game, Dave. Boehringer, 1 out here in the 9th. McGriff on first, base hit left field, all the way in the corner. Bonds will have to chase it. Martinez, a bad play again. McGriff is going to try and score. Bonds picks it up. Throws to the Aurelia. Aurelia to Santiago. This is going to be a close play. McGriff under the tag. Yes. 11-1 Chicago. For Rondell White, who was 2 for 3. His homer tied this game in the second at 1. And that seems to be the high water mark for the Giants in Game 1. DeShields on third, into center field. Bernard running in. DeShields, will he tag? Bernard has it. The throw to the plate. DeShields is in there. It's 12-1. Brings up Todd Hundley, who was 1 for 4. He has a single, a run scored, an RBI. He has struck out twice. Got him. And so we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Giants need 11 to tie and 12 to win. They have 3 outs. Why not? Kyle Farnsworth will start the inning. Aurelia is 1 for 3. He and Bernard are the only 2 Giant players to have a hit. Aurelia has also struck out once. Liner to McGriff, 1 out. For Barry Bonds, who's walked, he is 0 for 2. This place is emptying out faster in the Golden Corral after the shrimp are gone. Pitch to Bonds. Popped up. Eric Young, after this settles down, should make the catch. 2 out. Last chance saloon now for the Giants. Jeff Kent, who is 0 for 3. He has struck out and driven in a run. Base hit all the way down the line and right. Sosa was already celebrating. He forgot you have to get the 27th out. And Kent has a 2-out double. Maybe. Yep, he does. Kent, under the tag, is safe for JT Snow, who is 0 for 2. A walk and a strikeout. Hundley and Farnsworth change the signs just in case Jeff wants to read them. And Snow draws the walk. Well, 2 on, 2 out for Santiago, who is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Farnsworth, deep breath. Ground ball, base hit, left side. Well, Kent will round third. White should throw home. Nope, the throw goes in the infield, and it's 12-2. Well, the Giants get 1 back. For Armando Rios, who is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Farnsworth trying to get that last out to knock down game 1. Here's the pitch. Gets away from Hundley, but Snow will hold, and the count is 3-0. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. Now, when is the computer going to pull Farnsworth? Here's Ramon Martinez. He is 0 for 3. The Giants have loaded the bases in a 12-2 game with 2 outs here in the 9th. Martinez, that should do it. Fly ball to right. Sosa and the Cubs have stunned San Francisco by the score of 12-2. So in 3 hours and 41 fake minutes, the Cubs win game 1, 12 runs, 12 hits, 1 error, and 4 left on. The Giants, 2 runs, 4 hits, and an error. We're going to give Rondell White the Player of the Game award for Digital Dice. 2 for 3. He scored twice and drove in 2. Kerry Wood gets the win in game 1. He struck out 7 and 5 2/3. Russ Ortiz, he had plus stuff, but I think he was pressing too hard. He doesn't strike out that many batters. He threw a lot of pitches, 96 through 5, and the Giant bullpen didn't do anybody any favors. So Farnsworth goes 2 innings. He pitched a little bit too long. So the Cubs, hold on, Bernie, we're going to do games 2 and 3, lickety split. So 12-2, Chicago wins the opener. We're not going to fully play them. We're going to load the lineups and go. So game 2. We're just going to do the lineups. Yep, stick around for a few. Let's see. We're going to go with John Lieber. And the Giants are going to go with Kirk Reeder. Now I want the replay stats. Okay. Righty. So Murray, Aurelia, Bonds, Kent, Snow, Santiago, Rios, and we're going to go with Russ Davis. Giants are going with a lefty. I'm not sure how much this is going to matter. Young. Gutierrez. Sosa. McGriff. White. Hundley. We'll go with Miller. And Tucker. All right. Beautiful evening. And so with all that, end of the game, a 3-hitter for the Cubs. So Chicago on the verge of a sweep. They take both the games in San Francisco. Michael Tucker, a 2-run single in the 4th, and John Lieber singles home White in the 6th, and that'll do it. John Lieber throws a 3-hit shutout, and the Cubs are on the verge of sweeping out the the Giants. You got me doing it, Scotty. How about that? So the Cubs have a fully rested Penn and a day off. And Dave Gardner threw again. The Giants are in a world of hurt. Can the Cubs sweep? In the American League, Bernie, the A's are a wild card. They still won 99 games or whatever the heck it was. Yeah, so the Cubs have gone into San Francisco and taken 2. So now, do you believe? We go to Wrigley Field. So who can go for the Giants? Their pitching has been terrible. Absolutely terrible. They're going to go with Livan Hernandez to save their season. The Cubs, Jason Beret. Okay, so righties all the way. Cubs lineup. My goodness. Oops. It's a righty for the Cubs. All right, you ready? You ready? Let's quick sim this. And the Cubs have swept the Giants. The Chicago Cubs of 2001 are going to be playing for the pennant. They have beaten the Giants by the score of 9-2. And how did it happen? It was pretty much over by the second inning. Sammy Sosa, a 2-run homer in the first to make it 2-0. Then Ron Coomer, of all people, hey, holy cow, how about that? A 3-run shot. Eric Young 7-0 Cubs in the second. It was all over but the shouting at that point. Rios an RBI ground ball in the fifth. Fred McGriff put the cherry on the Sunday, 9-1. Russ Davis a late run. It doesn't matter. The Cubs have won the series in a sweep. They beat the Giants by the score of 9-2. Jason Beret, 6 2/3 of 1-run ball. And the Cubs pitched. How good was their pitching? Their ERA for the series was 1. Livan Hernandez couldn't get out of the second. And so the Giants are done. Tomorrow we'll determine the last NLDS, at least the first 3 games, the Marlins and the Astros. But the winner of that awaits the Chicago Cubs. How about that? There will be meaningful baseball deep in October at Wrigley Field. And, of course, with the League Championship Series, you'll see every game. So the Cubs have swept. The White Sox need some work because they trail the A's 2-1. But the Cubs have won. Tomorrow, noon Eastern, Astros and Marlins. Let's see if we can get the NL done. Until then, I'm Ron Juckett. Have a great day, everybody. So long.